So Al Sharpton waits till he gets his hair done to head to Minnesota. First of all, to head to Minnesota and do what? What is Al Sharpton gonna do in Minnesota? Help me out. What is he gonna do? Somebody called him an ambulance chaser. That was hilarious. But what is Al Sharpton gonna do in Minnesota? What's he gonna do? Actually, better question, what has Al Sharpton done? Honestly, what has he done?
I think that it will celebrate his life. It will also raise the level of pain for this family and what it means, because I think sometimes people lose the reality that this was a human being. We act like this is just a news story. This is his daddy. This is somebody's brother. And we're going to bring the human side of who Floyd was, who George Floyd meant to his loved ones. And we're going to challenge this country and announce a national move that we've never announced before.
Just explain to me how Al Sharpton literally went from a drug dealer to an informant to a pastor to a political activist to a leader for black people. Come on, y'all, it's a setup. I keep telling y'all it's a setup. Al Sharpton waited till he got his hair done and decided to head down to Minnesota to do what? To give a speech? To do what? What is he gonna do? I'll tell you, absolutely nothing.
What do you have to say about all the charges? They say you stole money.
Same charges that Dr. King had, same charges gone. Where's all of the mob money? Where's the tickets go? This is disappointing. I thought they could do better.
What about not filing for taxes?
What about it? Black people don't owe no taxes. We ain't got no rights. They like my hair.
Wait a minute. Malcom Jenkins is crying about what Drew Brees said, and he's the one that literally sold out the movement.
I'm somebody who protested during the national anthem, not against the national anthem, but against police brutality and the systemic racism that is plaguing our country. And if you can't see now in 2020 with the whole nation on fire and people screaming for equality and that this is enough, and you can't, with the same vigor that you like to denounce the protest during the national anthem, denounce the murder of George Floyd, denounce the murder of Breonna Taylor, denounce the murder of Ahmaud Arbery.
I can get some more clarity to why I believe he's a sellout if y'all got a minute to hear a story.
Sure.
Y'all remember that players owners meeting in New York City? So we were brought in under the premise that the NFL wanted to use their resources to help the black community. We established within the first 5 minutes of that meeting that we weren't there to negotiate an end to the protest. After about an hour and a half of talking, Bob McNair says, I think the elephant in the room is this protesting. Terry Pagula follows up with, yeah, I've already lost 2 sponsors for my hockey team. We need to put a Band-Aid on this, and we need a black figurehead to do it. It's the Eagles owner's name. Lurie says, we can do more for the black community than you can ever imagine with our resources. Bob McNair then says, yeah, just make sure you tell your comrades to stop that protesting business.
Malcom Jenkins sold the movement out, and now he's on Instagram slinging snot. So we got Al Sharpton and we got Malcom Jenkins.
Commit yourself to making this country better without criticizing those who have exhausted every single resource that they have to make this country better, and this country has not stepped up to the plate. You have not stepped up to the plate. To stay silent when your peers are screaming from the mountaintops that we need help. Our communities are under siege, and we need help.
So we leave that meeting. We reestablished internally, the people that were involved with the Players Coalition, that we weren't negotiating and into the protest. The NFL said they wanted to use its resources to help the black community, so I was fine with giving my opinion on how they could do that. That changed the last week of November when Malcom called me on the phone and asked if the NFL made a donation to the Players Coalition, would that be enough for me to stop protesting? He said that they were willing to do $5 million. And I told him, no, we've already established for 2 times prior to this that we weren't negotiating and into the protest. He then asked me, well, how much would it take? So I ended that conversation. I reported back to the other players what he said to me. And at that point, we removed ourselves from the Players Coalition.
What are you mad at Drew Brees for? Drew Brees is a rich white man in America. Of course, he don't want you disrespecting the flag. Of course, he don't want you kneeling for the flag because the flag actually means something to Drew Brees. I keep telling y'all want to be black. This is what happens. When you black, the flag is tyranny and terror for you, but for Drew Brees, it's the best thing that God created. That's why they always say, God bless America.
I envision my 2 grandfathers who fought for this country during World War II, one in the Army and one in the Marine Corps, both risking their lives to protect our country and to try to make our country and this world a better place. So every time I stand with my hand over my heart, looking at that flag and singing the national anthem, that's what I think about. And in many cases, it brings me to tears.
Y'all are mad at Drew Brees, but what do y'all expect Drew Brees to do? He's a rich white man in America. Of course he loves the flag. Of course he loves America. This is his country. Of course. Y'all are shocked by Drew Brees? Why?
But for that matter, those throughout the civil rights movements of the 60s, and everyone and all that has been endured by so many people up until this point. And is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better, and that we are all part of the solution.
Y'all thought Drew Brees was down because he throws the ball to us on a football field? Y'all thought Drew Brees was down because he throws the ball to us on a football field? He is a rich white man in America. Of course he loves the flag. Of course he respects the flag. Come on, man, this is his country. You all want to be black, so if you want to be black, this is what comes with it. I keep telling you all, being black is bondage. I keep telling you all, when you're black, the flag means oppression, it means tyranny, it means everything bad the world has to offer. But for these white people, the flag means life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So don't get mad at Drew Brees. Don't get mad at Drew Brees. Just withhold the vote, withhold the money, or withhold both.
That weekend, Malcom stopped protesting. He said that it was time for everybody to stop protesting. He didn't protest the rest of the year. The following May, the NFL and the Players Coalition finalized and announced their deal. And within 24 hours of that, the NFL changed the policy on the national anthem, requiring everybody to stand. So those series of events are not a coincidence. The NFL used him to change the anthem policy to force it into the protest to satisfy its sponsors, like Terry Pagula mentioned, and probably also to satisfy the President of the United States.
And Trina. Oh, Trina. Why, Trina? Why? Let me tell y'all something. Trina lied and said her dad was Dominican.
Open the red bones. Yeah, exactly. What the hell she talking about Dominicans? You want Dominican daddy that bad? Think that she was hurt that out here she had to grind and get it for herself even when she danced in the strip clubs. So you think she hold a grudge against you that she had to take that route? No, because the route she would have took it, go to Miami-Dade College and took her real estate and doing stuff like that. That was her route. Her route she chose to go and dance on the stage.
Now, why do you think Trina would lie about her father being Dominican? I'll tell you. Because she realized being black comes with limitations. So what she tried to do was make herself Dominican and not be black. When you and I know both her parents are black.
You're black, right?
Black? I'm fucking Puerto Rican. I ain't fucking black.
You're Puerto Rican.
You goddamn right I am.
You're not a black man?
No, I'm black, but I'm Puerto Rican, but I ain't stupid.
You're a black Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But she called the protesters animals. Why do you think Trina called the protesters animals? Why do you think Trina called the protesters animals?
The curfew at 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's how I feel.
No.
Keep everybody off the streets, these animals off the streets that are running around in Miami-Dade County acting like they have escaped from a zoo. Lock them up at 5 p.m. so the streets could be nice and clean. That's how I feel.
Trina's like, I don't want to be black. I'm going to justify the use of the N-word towards me. I'm not going to be offended by it. I'm telling you. I'm going to say my dad's Dominican. Really what she's saying is, I don't want to be black. And I understand because being black comes with bondage. The only problem is you trying to deny yourself of who you really are.
What were some of the concerns that you had heard?
It's like, oh, you know, how you do a record with a white girl that say and I'm just like, people dig into everything. And so when I thought about it, her being from Hialeah, it's black, it's white, it's mixed, it's this whole thing. And everybody say white, black. I've been to Hong Kong and they say I was surprised, but they do. And that's just what it is. So you can't tell people what to say, especially in the culture that we do when it comes to music.
You can't trust these celebrities. These celebrities don't care about you or I. You cannot trust these celebrities.
I know black. I ain't Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. I know black. Be looking just like me. Be having the same hair. I be touching it like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, papi. It's not the same. They try to salsa that shit off. I be like, no, it's not the same. I know black. Negro nunca, nunca. I know no, nunca. I know black. I'm like, no, you black. No. I know black. Dominica. I go, I know, but you're black. No, papi. I know black. No, black.
Y'all said Obama was the first black president. He was the first black president. And now he wants to speak up on racial issues. Obama was the first black president, y'all said, and now he wants to speak up on these racial issues. And Obama could have did something when he was in the White House for 8 years. Obama had 2 terms. The cold thing about it is Obama ran a whole campaign on change and nothing change. The cold part is nothing changed.
Although all of us have been feeling pain, uncertainty, disruption, some folks have been feeling it more than others. Most of all, the pain that's been experienced by the families of George and Brianna and Ahmad and Tony and Sean and too many others to mention, those that we thought about during that moment of silence.
Man, Obama painted the White House a rainbow. I don't want to hear it, man. Obama had the White House as a rainbow. He never made the White House red, black, and green. And you all would tell me, oh, he couldn't do that. Why not? Why not? Obama had no jurisdiction over gay marriages, but yet he was very outspoken about gay marriages. He was very outspoken about those abortions. He was very outspoken about Obamacare. He was very outspoken about foreign affairs, international business affairs. So you mean to tell me he's vocal on all these things he want to put some action to, and not nothing for our people?
You can't forget that even as we're confronting the particular acts of violence that led to those losses, our nation and the world is still in the midst of a global pandemic that's exposed the vulnerabilities of our healthcare system, but also the disparate treatment and, as a consequence, the disparate impact that exists in our healthcare system, the unequal investment, the biases that have led to a disproportionate number of infections and loss of life in communities of color.
You can't talk about Obama like that. Yes, I can. Obama was outspoken. Don't tell me what he couldn't have did. He had the White House looking like a rainbow. I don't want to hear it, man. He was vocal on stuff that he had no authority over. He was vocal on stuff that was up to the states. I don't want to hear it. Obama could have did something and stopped talking about prison reform. Listen, most black people don't go to prison. So stop it. I keep telling you all, black people suffer from poverty, not incarceration. We suffer from poverty. That's the problem. Economic exclusion. And Obama knows this because he met with Byron Allen, and Byron Allen told him. So when Obama got in office, Obama knew what the lick read, or what the lick read. Obama knew.
As tragic as these past few weeks have been, as difficult and scary and uncertain as they've been, they've also been an incredible opportunity for people to be awakened to some of these underlying trends. And they offer an opportunity for us to all work together to tackle them, to take them on, to change America and make it live up to its highest ideals.
What the hell did you just say?
Y'all gave Obama a pass. We all knew what Obama was in the White House for. You know how he knew? Because he was vocal about everything he was in the White House for. He was vocal about it. He put his voice behind it. He put his actions behind it. The man literally made the White House a rainbow and did not make the White House red, black, and green, not even during Black History Month. He could have at least did it in Black History Month. Come on, man. You can't talk about Obama like that. You can't talk about Obama like that. No. Y'all gave Obama a pass for no reason. Y'all gave him a pass. Obama showed you when he exercised his power, he could get things done. And that was not used for us.
Because historically, so much of the progress that we've made in our society has been because of young people. Dr. King was a young man when he got involved. Cesar Chavez was a young man. Malcolm X was a young man. The leaders of the feminist movement were young people. Leaders of union movements were young people. The leaders of the environmental movement in this country and the movement to make sure that the LGBT community finally had a voice and was represented were young people.
So now these people are paying him to talk about this upheaval and unrest in these cities. I don't want to hear it. It's all a setup. Anybody getting on that TV trying to tell people to be calm after 400 to 500 years of oppression is crazy. How you gonna fix your mouth and say people should calm down after 500 years of oppression? How does Trina fix her mouth to say they're animals? How does Malcom Jenkins fix his mouth to say he got a problem with Drew Brees? How does Drew Brees fix his mouth and say, I don't want anybody disrespecting the flag? Not even the people getting disrespected by the folks waving the flag. It's a setup.
I literally hate my family so much. It's just, they just try to argue with me that George Floyd they're just trying to tell me that he deserved that because he did something wrong and that it was okay. That is not okay. And it's just making me so upset. I don't know why. I do not want to live here. I hate living in Louisiana. I hate living around these racist fucks.
And Al Sharpton is losing an ounce a day. He needs to go sit down somewhere. He's losing an ounce a day. I don't know if he had lap band surgery. I don't know if he had gastric bypass. I don't know if he had gastric chest pass. I don't know if he on that stuff. I don't know what's wrong with Al Sharpton, but one thing I do know is he needs to go sit down. It's time to retire.
Tonight, we want to deal with the records and the facts.
Please do it.
On this program, your program, you heard me, you have me on tape defending this man. Recently, even after the shenanigans with him and the other soldiers.
That's a lot of crap.
No, brother, you have your time.
That's a lot of crap.
Brother,
and I got
brother,
it.
no,
I got it.
no.
I got it.
Oh, no.
I got it.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
We've agreed to have a benefit match.
A benefit
in
boxing
September
match. in which whoever wins that organization gets the money. So Roy, get ready for a righteous butt whipping from me.
Wait for it. Free blast. Get money. Go.